Hey guys, so it's the next morning. It's like 6:30 in the morning right now. We're going to Rob Bazaar in like an hour. Uh, I literally had a breakthrough last night in my lucid dreaming expertise per se or experience. Uh, it was just amazing. I don't know if it had to do with just it was just synchronistic. It was time for it to happen, or all those superfoods I had last night, which I like. Some of them I had never had before. I've never had camu camu before, or yum berry, or noni powder, or anything like that, or kelp powder. Like I was rocking last night. So okay. So the stream. So random. Jeff's with me, and we're at my friend Charles's house, who's that guy who was in the last video with the prickly pears. We're at his house, and my boss's old daughter is there, who's this little girl. She's like 2 years old, and we're taking care of her. And I just remember she can't talk particularly well in waking life, but she was very articulate in the dream. And I remember telling her how to say my name because she kept calling me Nate, and she'd try to say Nathaniel, and she'd say it really funny. So I remember saying, I was whispering to her because I didn't want her to be embarrassed. I was like, "It's Nathaniel," and then she would say back, "Nathaniel." I'm like, "Good, you got it." And then all of a sudden, me and Jeff are outside. And we're about to go to the Raw Bazaar, and I'm like, "Wait, we can't leave Gianna behind." She's in the house. She's like 2 years old. So I go back inside, and all of a sudden it's my house, my old house. And I pick her, she's sleeping, and I pick her up, and she feels just like my kitty in my arms, and I wrap her around my neck, and we go outside, and then all of a sudden I'm in Charles's house, and there's these two girls there. Basically, these two girls represent, I don't know if you guys have these people in your dreams. Like, sometimes I'll have a dream where I'll be hanging out with my best friend in the dream, but that actual person in the dream is kind of all my friends put together into one person, like an archetype of my best friend. Well, these were two girls who were archetypes of, like, the hottest girls I know. And, so basically, I'm sure you guys know how a lot of dreams go when, there's good-looking girls around. But basically what I did was, like, I think just the fact that I was attracted to these two girls and just realized what was going on, I realized it wasn't a very normal situation. And that's what got me lucid. And I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't normally happen. I can't remember a time where I've been at Charles's house with like two beautiful girls all by myself. Like, this doesn't make any sense. So I became lucid. But then by becoming lucid, I was like, okay, well, so I know I'm dreaming. Well, might as well take advantage of the situation with these two girls. And then as soon as, like, right after I thought that, more people come inside, and they see me and these girls, and they're like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing. It's okay, cause I'm dreaming. It's not like a real situation. No one has to be embarrassed or feel awkward when I'm just dreaming and whatever." And then, so that kind of stopped, and more people just kept coming in, and I just kept becoming more and more, like, felt like enlightening and more aware. Every time someone came in, I'm like, "Hey, I want you to know that I'm dreaming. Like, now that you're in the house, I'm dreaming, and, like, anything goes. It's okay." And this was the longest I've actually felt clear-headed. I mean, clear-headed enough. For some reason, I still make, not the mistake, but whenever I'm lucid in dreams and there's people there, all I try to do is tell them, like, "Hey, I'm dreaming. Hey, are you real, or are you just like the dream version of this person in my head?" And that's kind of what I was doing for a while, just so overwhelmed, just trying to, like, "Hey, well, what's this? What are you doing?" And it was so intense. And then all of a sudden I'm in another room with my friend Kelly, who's a very avid dreamer too. And I'm like, "Kelly, like, holy crap, this is it. Like, I'm doing so good. I'm dreaming. I'm so lucid. And I want to talk to you. And she's like, hey, don't, it doesn't matter. Tell me when you're awake. Just, enjoy the dream now. You don't need to tell me about it. Just tell me when you're awake. And it's just so beautiful. And then, so that literally went on for maybe, felt like a legitimate 15 minutes of lucid, like a pure awareness, like it was me doing all those things. But I was actually rid of all my ego thoughts. I was so present. I was only thinking one thought at a time, and it was completely pertaining to what I chose, and it was very empowering. And I remember thinking, like, wow, I better make sure I don't push it. I shouldn't like force on everybody that I'm dreaming and try to get really intense with it, because usually when that happens, I wake up. And of course, the moment I thought that, I woke up, and I'm laying next to my roommate, and I remember she's like facing the other direction, and then all of a sudden I'm outside, like walking on the sidewalk, thinking like, wow, I can't believe I was so lucid in that last dream. That's so intense. Like, wow, this is so cool. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not. I was just laying in bed. Like, basically, I realized I didn't wake up yet, and that was really empowering too for just a second. And then I actually woke up, and I was kind of tired, but then I just talked to my roommate about my dream, and cause she has to get up early too, and now I'm like so wakeful, and today is gonna be such an amazing day. Today is the best day ever. Like, I was listening to Alan Watts last night. The past has already happened. The future is just an expectation. And you can't think about right now. You can only be here now. You can only experience it. And every time I remember that, or just feel that knowing, feel that expression of being, there's no words to describe. But I can use words like perfect and pure and loving and just amazing. I don't know what to say. I hope I didn't wake my roommates up. I'm trying to be really quiet. And I hope the microphone picked all this up too. Next scene will be driving to LA. Raw. Bazaar. Yeah.